ورسوله المؤمنين. Yalla, let's read. 3.3, the slope of a line. What means slope?
Steepness.
Yes, steepness, right. So the slope can be like this, right? Or it can be like this. Or it can be like that. Or it can be vertical line. So vertical, horizontal, rise, fall.
For it to be
And this one is what? Horizontal.
horizontal, the slope is zero.
And this is vertical. Now,
Horizontal, the slope is zero.
yes. So the slope here is equal 0. And here the slope is what? Undefined. Very good. Now, let's look at the learning objectives. Find the slope of a line giving 2 points. So he give you 2 points and he asks for the slope. Find the slope from the equation of the line. So he give you equation, he asks for the slope. Use the slope to determine whether the 2 points are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. What's mean parallel? You have 2 lines, right? Yes, 2 lines, what's parallel? What happens if it's perpendicular? Yes, how much this one? 90 degrees. So you have one line here, line number 1, and line number 2. Line 1, line number 2. Here line 1, line number 2. Is this clear?
Yes.
Are you paying attention now?
Yes.
Yeah, mister.
Yeah.
Okay, we have key terms here. Rise. What's mean rise?
Up and down.
Yep, up and down. Up or down. What's mean run?
Left, right.
Yes, run. Left or right. Slope. Steepness. How you spell steepness?
S-T-E-E.
Steepness, which means parallel.
Side by side, same distance continuously.
Side by side.
And they always have the same distance between each other.
And they are going same direction, right?
Yeah.
Line perpendicular lines. What's mean that?
Intersections that form right angles.
Okay. All right. So that's you have to look in the internet for those meaning, and then you have to do this classwork after you find the meaning. Okay. Now let's take a look at the first rule. That's the rule number 1. M equals the change in y over the change of x. Always y in the top and always x in the bottom to get the slope. So do we have a formula? Another formula? Yes. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Sometimes you call it rise over run. Okay, so here we talked about this. Vertical lines are how much the slope? Undefined. Parallel lines have the same what? So if you have 2 lines like this, I'm sorry, let's graph another 2 lines. If you have 2 lines like this, both slopes are the same. So M1 same as M2. M1 equal M2. Here M is what? Undefined. Okay, let's take a look at the exercise on the right side. He's giving you coordinate points, right? How many points? 2 points. 2 pair of points. Okay. Now, how can I get the slope? So we're gonna say what? y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. And how much the answer? Negative 4 over 3. So the slope here is fall. What's mean fall?
Down.
Going down. like this way. Okay, that's going a down. If you have a equation like this, it said y equal -2, it has a slope of how much? What's the slope? 0. Okay, if you have a equation like this and he's asking you what is the slope, you will say what? Undefined. Is this clear?
Why?
So why?
Why is it undefined of zero?
It's horizontal.
Vertical. I will show you an example. Okay. Find the slope of the graph. 3x minus 4y equal 12. So I have to make the equation y equal x and the number or the constant. So if I move x to the right side, it become what? Negative, correct?
Yes.
And then I have to divide by what? -4. So this become positive. So what is slope? The slope is 3/4. So don't forget the formula is y equal mx plus b. What is m? Is the slope. Is this clear?
Yeah.
Now take a look at this one. Here the lines, two lines. Line number 1 and line number 2. How much is the slope for line number 1? How much? 3, only 3. What's the slope for the second line? So the two lines are parallel or perpendicular? Parallel. Why? Because m1 equal m2. Take a look at this line and take a look at this line. Two lines, different lines. If you multiply the slope of the first line times the slope of the second line and the result is -1, then the line is what? Yes, perpendicular. Is this clear? So here I have how much the slope here? How much the slope here?
1/3.
So if you multiply this together, how much it give you?
-1.
Therefore, it's what?
Perpendicular.
Perpendicular lines. Is this clear? Let's go to the next one here. Now, this is the rules here. So you can see the line here, what is increasing, right? Okay. And this line is what? It's going down, so it's decreasing, right? It's like going this way, from increase to where? Decrease. That's what is written there. Okay, is this clear? Now, what about this line?
Side by side.
Yes, it's what?
Horizontal.
Yes, horizontal line. And what is this line?
Vertical.
Vertical line. Is this clear? Yeah, let's do some exercise. He's asking you to find the slope. How can I find the slope? Yes? Welcome back. We're starting with 3.3, the slope of a line. This is continuation. Okay. He said this example here, it said find the slope of a line passing through a pair of points, 4 point -2. So this is x, this is a y. And -1 and 5, x and y. To get the answer, you're gonna let this become x1, y1, this x2, y2. And now you're gonna have to do the changes in y over the changes of x, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, and then you put the numbers and then you evaluate, you get negative what? 7/5, and that's the answer. So since the slope is negative, because you have negative sign here, the line, what happens to it? Falls. If it's positive, then it rises. Is this clear? Is it clear? Now let's do this together, okay? Here, which one is x1? Which one is y1? x2, y2. So we'll say m, okay? How much is y2? 10 minus, always minus, huh? How much is y1? 7. x2, how much? 8. X1, how much? 4. So subtract 7, take away 7 from 10, you get 3. Take away 4 from 8, you get 4. Positive or negative? It's positive, right? So if it's positive, then we're going to say since the slope is positive, the line rises from left to right. So the key word here is what? Positive. Positive slope. Okay? That's the answer. Easy as easy? If you understand, raise your hand. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Find the slope of a line passing through these two numbers, or state the slope is undefined. So we'll do the same thing again, okay? This time I'll do a different color. So I have a 4 and -2. This is x1, y1. I have 3 and -2. That's x2, y2. To find the slope, which is m, is going to equal what? y2, how much? -2. Remember, we put minus here because we're taking the difference. -2, -2. How much is here? 3, and here 4. So your answer will be what? -2 plus 2, that give you what? 0. And take away 4 from 3, you get -1. So any number divided by 0 divided by -1, the answer is 0. So if the answer is 0, the slope, then we write down the slope. Since the slope is 0, if the line is what? Horizontal or vertical? The line is horizontal. Is this clear? If you understand, raise your hand. Good. Next one. Find the slope of a line passing through 5, 3. So we have 5 and 3, and we have 5, -2. Or state the slope is undefined. Indicate if the line is horizontal or vertical. So this is x1, y1, x2, y2. To get the slope, you look for the changes of y's over the change of x. How much y is? -2 and 3. And x is what? 5 minus 5. So that's equal what? 0 over -5. So it's a undefined. If the slope, so again, because since the slope is undefined, the line is vertical. Is this clear?
Yes.
Next one. This, can you please do few of this? That's classwork. The whole thing is classwork. Yalla, do one or two. Yalla, I have 2 minutes. Fast. It's asking you find the slope of each line. Okay. Now he's giving you an equation. So to find the slope, you have to make your equation look like this: y equal mx plus b. Okay. So this one is easy. M here is the slope, and this one is also easy. This also easy. The most difficult one is this one. Okay, so I'm gonna do this one. So here, is this in the form of this?
No.
No. So I have to isolate the y and isolate the x. So I move the x to the other side. Then divide by what? 5. So y equal what? Negative 2 over 5x plus 3 over 5. So your slope is negative 2 over 5. Easy? Yalla, do one. Either A or B or C.
Stop.
Yes. Finish? Yes? So here, what's the slope here? 3. What's the slope here? What's the slope here? That's it. That's all you have to do. Okay? Now, let's go to the graph here. It's asking you to find the slope. Please pay attention. Okay, I have two line here, right? That's, you see the line? And I have 2 points, right? He needs the slope. So we know the slope, it's the difference of y over the difference of x. So that's mean we're gonna say rise, because y is rise, right? Over run. Okay? Now I will take this point and then I count up, because I need to count the rise. So let's do it together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I put 6 here. And then I go to the right. 1, 2. Okay, this one is positive, this one is positive, because this is rise up and this is run to the right. If I do another one here, to find the slope, we do the same thing. I will go up and then left. Okay, so it's going to be rise over run. So let's count together. Yeah, count together with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Positive 6 because you're going up. Now I'm going left. This will be negative. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Negative 5. So your answer will be negative 6 over 5. What type of slope this? We said this is a fall. And this one is what? Rise. Is this clear? Because it's going like this, right? From left, upper left to where? Lower A right. Just like the aeroplane. The aeroplane goes like this. That's called fall, right? And when the aeroplane takes off, it's rise, right? So imagine this is like aeroplane. Aeroplane. Okay. Let's move on to the next one.
So we don't simplify, right?
Oh, you want to simplify? Yeah, you're so smart. MashaAllah. 6 over 2, if you reduce this, become what? 3 over 1. Very good. So you need to simplify this. Very good. I was testing you. Haha. All right, let's move on to the next one. Determine if the line passing through is parallel to the line passing through this. Okay, now here is a rule. The rule says if M1 equal M2, then in this case, the two lines are parallel. What's mean parallel? Okay. The second rule, this is rule number 1. Rule number 2, if you multiply M1 times M2 and it give you -1, the two lines are perpendicular. Okay? I'm just missing the word line. Okay? So, need to find the slope for the first line. Okay? How can I get the slope first line? Is going to be 6 minus 0 over 0 minus 2. And they give you what? You get 6 over 2, which give you what? 3 over 1. Slope number 2 for the second line, because there's two different lines, right? Yes.
So not negative.
2 is positive, because negative times negative give you positive.
Yeah.
The second line is 5 minus 8. 0 minus 1 equal. You subtract this, what you get? -3 over. So they give you 3 over 1. In this case, we say since their slopes are equal, the lines are parallel. If you understand, raise your hand. Okay. Okay. You understand? All right. Find the slope of a line parallel to each line. Then find the slope of a line perpendicular to each line. So this, the first line. This is the first line. He wants you to, that's the first line slope, right? He wants you to find the second line slope when it's parallel. When it is parallel. Okay, 1R. And you find the second line slope when it is perpendicular. Okay, so let me change the color here. All right, so if this is M1, right? How much, if M1 equal 2 over 3, what do you think M2 will be if it's parallel?
2 over 3.
2 over 3. Is this clear? Now, if it's perpendicular,
-3 over 2.
yes. So to get M2, you're going to make 1 over M1 times what? Half. So in this case, we're going to say -1 over 2 over what? 3. You need to flip it, right? It becomes 3 over 2. Is this clear? Clear or not clear?
Negative 3 over 2, right?
Yes. Can you do this? Can you do this for classwork? Yalla, do it now. Quickly, 1 minute. Same way. 1 time parallel is going to be equal, right? Same. And 1 time what? Will be perpendicular. So you have to flip it, okay? And after you flip it, what do? You put the negative sign.
So when it's parallel, it's the same.
Easy as easy. All right, so I think you're done, right? Let's go to the next one. Determine if the line passing through 1 and 5 and 0 and 3 is perpendicular to the line passing through this one. It's the same thing, right? You need to find the slope for the first one, find the slope for the second one, and if your answer is not equal, then it's not parallel. If it's negative and it's flipped, the number, then in this case is a perpendicular. Is this clear? Okay, so let's move to the next one. In fact, I will ask you to do it. Can you do this one? Do this one as a classwork? See if you can get. So what you do, find M1, find what? M2. And then after this, you compare. If M1 equal M2, then it's what? Parallel. If M1 equal negative 1 over M2, then it's what? Perpendicular. Clear?
So
Yes.
one is negative and the other is positive.
And it's left, flipped?
Yes, it's perpendicular.
Perpendicular. Okay. It has to be flipped. How much the answer for M1?
Oh, the second one has to be flipped.
Yeah. How much the answer for the first one?
2.
2 over 1. And the second answer?
Negative 1 over 2.
Negative 1 over 2. So in this case, we'll say what? Since. Okay. So let's erase this. And let's do it again. So we have 3, right? Minus 5. And then the other one is what? 0 minus 1. So they give you what? 2 minus 2 over minus 1, which is equal to 2 over 1. So it was right. What he said is right. Okay? You do the next one the same way. Okay? M2 is going to be what?
M2,
6 minus 8. And 2 minus minus 2. They give you what? Minus 2 over 4, which is minus 1 over 2. So since both of them, they give you the answer is negative 1. If you multiply, of course, I will show you how to multiply. So you multiply 1 times M2, which equal 2 over 1 times negative 1 over 2. That's give you what? Negative 1. So since you have -1, then it's what? Perpendicular. Is this clear? Next. We need to decide if it's parallel, perpendicular, or neither. As I told you, we have to put it in the slope intercept form. What's the slope intercept for? Y equal mx plus b. Is this like this? No. So we have to make it. So it's going to be what? 4y equal what? -x minus 4. Divide by 4. So it's going to be y equal what? -1 over 4x minus 1. So how much is slope for the first one?
-1/4.
So m1 equal -1 over 4. The second one is going to be minus y. I move this to the other side. Divide by -1.
4.
So y equal 4x minus 5. So the second one is 4. Okay? If you multiply m1 times m2, they give you -1. In this case, we'll say the two lines are what? Yes. So in this case, we say two lines are perpendicular. Okay? Can you do one? Classwork, one, this one or this one? Read ya Muhammad. This one.
Construction laws are very specific when it comes to access ramps for the disabled. The grade of a ramp refers to its slope expressed as a percent. Every vertical rise of 1 foot requires a horizontal run of 12 feet. What is the grade of such a ramp? Round to the nearest tenth of a percent.
Okay, so now we're gonna look at the rise. The rise is what? 1, and the run is what? 12. That give you what? 0.08. And now I have to convert this to what? To percent. Which is 8 multiplied times what? 100%. So that give you what?
8.3%.
8.3.
It's 83 continuous.
Okay. So, and he wants you to round it to the nearest 10 of a percent. So in this case, we'll say what?
8.3%.
8.3%. Do we have any number after 3?
It's continuous.
Give me one number after 3.
0.8333333.
Okay. So in this case, when you round it, it becomes, he wants it to the 10th, right? So the 10th is, you're gonna stop at the 3. Okay? Clear?